Let's go ahead and now move to the next chapter, everyone. The next chapter is demand and recovery. People, where does the linking come for the chapter of demand and recovery? Everything is linked to assessment. Everyone see here. Officer went ahead and scrutinized your return. Officer went ahead and scrutinized your return. When the scrutiny was done, he found some discrepancy. He will tell you that these are the discrepancy. You rectify the discrepancy, pay the tax, interest, penalty, chapter close. You did not rectify it. You did not rectify, you gave the explanation. You did not pay the tax, interest, penalty. Basically, rectification means paying the tax, interest, penalty. You did not pay. You went ahead and gave explanation. He likes it, chapter close. He does not like it. He'll do audit, special audit, inspection, search, seizure. He will gather evidences. He will gather evidences and then go ahead and pass a demand order. Are we clear, everyone? Sir, audit, special audit, inspection, search, seizure is not mandatory. It is optional. If he wants to gather evidences, he can use it, or he can also directly go ahead and start with show cause notice and demand order. But also before doing a show cause notice or demand order, he has to find out that you have not paid some tax. Only then he can issue a show cause notice and then a demand order. And here we are that, sir, he will give you a demand order. Now demand order, you should pay within how much time? 3 months, or 3 months may you should go for a appeal, or 3 months may if you don't go for an appeal also and you did not pay the demand order. Now the officer will do what, everyone? He will hang you upside down like this. Officer will stand over here. He will catch you and he will recover the amount. And here comes the chapter of demand. Pay the demand within 3 months or else recovery. And here we are in the chapter of demand and recovery. First they will demand and then they will recover. Everyone over here, where it appears to the proper officer that the tax is not paid, you have not paid some tax, or tax is short paid, you have not paid, you had to pay 28%, you have paid only 18%, some amount of tax you have not paid. Just a second. Or erroneously you have gone ahead and taken a refund, or ITC was wrongly availed or and utilized, then officer is going ahead and telling either you availed the ITC or you availed and utilized also. Then they are going ahead and telling if tax is not paid, short paid, erroneous refund you have taken, ITC wrongly availed and utilized, then the officer can go ahead and do what, everyone? Demand and recovery against you. But always remember, demand can be done under section number 73 also and under section number 74 also. Section number 74 ka case will come only when you are going ahead and doing what? Fraud, willful misstatement or suppression of fact. If you have not done fraud, then your case will come under, for any other reason, section number 73. Sir, mistake happened, sir. I did not do any fraud. Then in that scenario, you will come under section number 73. That is other than fraud, willful misstatement and suppression. In section number 73 and 74, everyone, there are 3 stages which are there. Listen. One is you can make the payment before the show cause notice. Before the show cause notice, you can make the payment. Are we clear? Then, if you don't make the payment before issuance of show cause notice, then show cause notice will come. If show cause notice has come, then also you can make the payment within the next 30 days. If you make the payment, very good. If you don't pay within 30 days, after that, the demand order will come. After demand order also, you can make the payment. If you make the payment within 3 months, very good. If you don't pay, then recovery will start. Everyone, are we clear? See, for recovery, demand order has to be there. For demanding, show cause notice has to be there. Be a good boy. Before show cause notice only, if you go ahead and pay, they are going ahead and telling you just under section number 73, if you are making the payment before show cause notice, you can just pay the tax, you can just pay the interest and penalty. People tell me, is interest penalty required? Not required. Tax is required, interest is required, penalty they will not go ahead and ask. Everyone, the same thing I have written over here, okay, in the chart. Just listen. You have to pay the tax and you have to pay the interest. Penalty is not required. Just inform the officer using GST DRC 03 and officer will give an acknowledgement in GST DRC 04 that sir, your payment is accepted. Sir, if I don't go ahead and make the payment, then show cause notice will come. I can go ahead and still pay the tax and interest. I don't have to pay any penalty. Sir, if I don't pay within 30 days, then what will happen? Then demand order will come. After the demand order, if you are paying, you have to pay tax, interest, and penalty will be 10% of the tax amount or 10,000, whichever is higher. But if you come under section number 74, always remember one thing. If you are paying before show cause notice, you can pay the tax, you can pay the interest, and penalty will just be 15% of the tax amount. Sir, after the show cause notice has come, you will be given again 30 days to pay. You can pay tax, interest, and now the penalty will become how much? 25%. Sir, because it is fraud case. Then, once the demand order comes, you still are given one more chance. Frauds are given one more chance. If you pay within 30 days, you have to pay tax, interest, penalty will only be 50%. If you don't pay within 30 days, then it will be tax, interest, and penalty will be 100% of the tax amount which has to be paid. And the same thing I have gone ahead and written over here. Everyone over here now, listen. Sir, one is before the show cause notice, you can go ahead and pay the tax. Or nowadays, no, government ko you can tell officer ko, sir, I don't know how much is the tax to be paid. You tell me. So the officer can inform you in GST DRC 01A ka part A mein. Always remember, if you are under section number 70, people, left side, 1 minute. Left side and right side is exactly same. Left side the penalties are different because 73. Right side the penalties are different because it is section number 74. Everyone over here, you can just pay the tax, you can just pay the interest and chapter close, Baba. Listen, you can make the full payment, show cause notice will not come, the chapter will be closed. You can just inform the proper officer and he will give an acknowledgement that okay sir, your chapter is closed. But sir, if you make a part payment or you want to give any submission saying sir, I want to reply to your GST DRC 01A, then you can give a reply by using part B of GST DRC 01C. You give a reply, now he will go ahead and pass the show cause notice. Always remember, he will pass the show cause notice. After the show cause notice, people, these things you hold it, okay? After the show cause notice, in the show cause notice, he will tell the tax amount, the interest at the rate of 18% is to be paid, and he will state the ground asking why the amount told in the show cause notice should not be demanded. And a summary of the show cause notice will be uploaded online in GST DRC 01. Detailed show cause notice will be sent to you on your mail, but summary also will be uploaded on the portal. Now, after the show cause notice has come, you will be given again 30 days to make the payment. You can make the payment of the tax, interest. Using which form I have to make the payment? GST DRC 03. And there will be no penalty which will be required to be paid. Demand order will not come. Officer will go ahead and conclude the proceeding in GST DRC 05 saying, okay sir, your payment has come, we are closing. If you don't want to make the payment, you can furnish a reply to the proper officer using which form? DRC 06. And now you give your reply, keep talking to him. If he finds everything okay, chapter closed. But if it does not find things okay, then officer will go ahead and pass a demand order. Detailed demand order will be sent to your mail and a summary will be uploaded in GST DRC 07. After the demand order has come, if you make the payment, you have to pay the tax, you have to pay the interest, you have to pay the penalty. Remember, mandatory 10% of the tax or 10,000, whichever is higher. Everyone here, just inform the officer using GST DRC 03 and he will conclude the proceeding using GST DRC 05. Are we all clear with this, everyone? That sir, before show cause notice, tax and interest only. After show cause notice, tax, interest, penalty is not required. But within 30 days, if you don't pay, then after that, show cause notice ka paying ka option is only not there. Then, now to demand order will come. When the demand order comes, you have to pay tax, you have to pay interest, and penalty is how much, everyone? 10% or 10,000, whichever is higher. The same thing I have written on the right side, everyone. Everything remains same on the right side. See, first, before the show cause notice, you can go ahead and pay the tax, interest and penalty, which is how much, everyone? 15%. Sir, make the full payment. Show cause notice will only not come. Chapter will be closed. Just inform the officer and he will give an acknowledgement that, okay, we have received the payment. Sir, if I make a part payment or I want to reply to the officer, you can give your submission. Once you do that, show cause notice will come. Once the show cause notice comes, everyone, this statement, okay, not required, nothing. Now what will happen? Then after the show cause notice has come, you can pay the tax, you can pay the interest. Now the penalty will become how much? 25%. And demand order will not be given to you now. Chapter will be closed. Officer will conclude the proceeding and issue on DRC 05. Sir, I did not make the payment, but I gave the representation. Now what will happen? Now demand order will come. Once the demand order comes, you should make the payment within 30 days. Then, Baba, you just have to pay the tax, you just have to pay the interest, and penalty will be only 50%, and the proceedings will be concluded. But if you don't make the payment within 30 days, if you make the payment after 30 days, they are telling pay the tax, pay the interest, pay the penalty, which is 100%, and then only the proceedings will be concluded. Can I go ahead, everyone? Everyone over here now, listen. In this part, you have to remember one thing. What is the time limit to issue show cause notice and demand order? Very, very important. First of all, this thing is very important. Everyone, section number 73 and 74, I want to ask you. If before show cause notice, under 73, you make the payment, then pay the tax, pay the interest, penalty, not required. Right side, tax, interest, penalty will be how much, everyone? How much? 15%. The next one, show cause notice will come after the show cause notice if you are making the payment. After the show cause notice, if you are making the payment within 30 days, tax, interest, penalty is not required. But tax, interest, penalty will be 25%. The next one, everyone, if demand order has come, after that you are paying 73 ka case, tax, interest, penalty is how much? 10% or 10,000, whichever is higher. Here it will be tax, interest, penalty will be how much, everyone? 50% within 30 days if you pay. If you don't pay within 30 days, after 30 days it is how much? 100% penalty. Can I go ahead, everyone? This is very important, remember. Now the next part which is very important from here is, what is the time limit to issue what? Show cause notice and demand order. Remember, the time limit to pass show cause notice and demand order. See, officer has to issue show cause notice. Officer has to issue demand order. What, after 50 years he can issue? No. You have to remember, there's a time limit to issue show cause notice and demand order. Everyone over here now. Everyone over here now. What, people watching at home, I'd pause the video, continuing again. Here, what is the time limit to pass an order? Demand order and show cause notice. What is the time limit to pass the demand order and show cause notice? Listen, demand order ka time limit is 3 years. In case of 73, 74, 5 years. Here it is, show cause notice ka time limit is 2 years, 9 months, and 4 years, 6 months. Actually, what happens? No, demand order say the show cause notice should come at least 3 months prior. How many months prior? And fraud ka case mein it should be at least 6 months prior. I will give you one example. Listen. Supposingly, this is the year 2021. This is the year 2021. What is the maximum time limit to issue demand order? It is 3 years from the due date of annual return for the relevant financial year. Can you tell me this year ka annual return ka due date? 31st December 2021. Can you tell me 3 years? 1, 2, 3. 22, 23, 31st December 2000. This is the maximum time limit to issue demand order. But demand order and show cause notice, the minimum distance should be how much? 3 months. Means show cause notice should be at least given 3 months prior, so that the person can show cause. No, he can reply you. So at least how much time you should give? 3 months. So the show cause notice should be given within 1 year, 2 years, and 9 months. Are we clear, everyone? That is why the last date to issue show cause notice is 30th of September 2024. If the show cause notice is not given here, then remember, demand order cannot be passed. Supposingly, the show cause notice was given here and demand order was given here. Then remember, it's a time barred show cause notice, it's a time barred demand order. You can go ahead and challenge it. Are we clear, everyone? The next one I'll tell you. Can you tell me, in case of fraud, if I talk about 2021, what is the maximum time limit to issue demand order? 31st December. Are 5 years, so I also know. You tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 31st December 26. This is the maximum time limit to issue what? Demand order. Remember, demand order say at least 6 months prior. At least 6 months prior, the show cause notice should be there. So what is the time limit for show cause notice? 30th June 2026. Are we clear, everyone? Remember, if the show cause notice and demand order, the distance is not 6 months, invalid proceeding. If demand order is not given within time, after time, all that demand order, show cause notice, etc. will become invalid. Can I go ahead, everyone? Everyone over here now, listen. It says, see, demand order 73 is 3 years, 74 is 5 years. Show cause notice 2 year 9 months and 4 year 6 months from the due date of annual return for the relevant financial year. Always remember, if it's an erroneous refund, no, listen. Supposingly, for the year 2021, for the year 2021, you applied for refund and you were given one erroneous refund here, refund के लिए you will not see that year का 31st December से, no. The day you are given the erroneous refund, from that day the officer can demand back within 3 years or 5 years. Always remember, refund, see, if tax is not paid, tax is short paid for a year, then for that, from that year ka due date of annual return, 3 years or 5 years, it can be demanded. But if it is erroneous refund, Baba, erroneous refund you would have asked within 2 years. So when the year got over, after that when you got the refund, from the refund ka date, they are telling we can ask you back within 3 years or 5 years. It says in case of erroneous refund from the date of erroneous refund. Sir, what if within the time the show cause notice and demand order is not passed? Remember one thing, all the proceedings shall be deemed to have been concluded. That year ke liye no show cause notice, no demand order can be given. People watching at home, I paused the video. Some video issue was there. Chalo, we'll go ahead now. Everyone over here now, listen. So sir, if 3 years or 5 years may there is no show cause notice and demand order passed, then all the proceedings for that year will be deemed to be concluded. Sir, listen to me very carefully. Whenever the demand order will come, no, you will have 3 months. You can go for what, everyone? Appeal. If you don't want to go for an appeal, after 3 months, so Baba, department will start the recovery. We will be learning about recovery ka mode. They will not literally hang you upside down. They will actually sell your movable property, immovable property, etc. and recover the amount. That's it, everyone. I believe from this chapter, first of all, you should always remember the penalty computation part. Here, no penalty. You are able to understand what I'm telling. No penalty. Before show cause notice, no penalty. After show cause notice, no penalty. After that, 10% or 10,000, whichever is higher. Here, 15%, 25%, 50%, and 100%. This thing you should remember. Secondly, you should remember 73 May 3 years, 74 May 5 years. 3 years and show cause notice 2 years 9 months and 4 years 6 months. This you should remember. The time limit for issuance of show cause notice and demand order. These 2 points, I like it. They can go ahead and ask you. Everyone over here now, please come down. One point over here is section number 7311. People, wherever I am leaving small points, no? Wherever I am leaving this, supposingly what is GST, DRC 01A? All these are just for your self-reading. These are not something which I have to put time on. Are we clear? We'll put time on those things which are more important. Can we go ahead, everyone? Next, please come down. Here one explanation is there. What this explanation is telling? No, listen. When section number 73 ka or 74 ka proceedings are done against you, for an example, you have not gone ahead and paid some tax and 73 and 74 ka proceedings are done on you. Does it mean any other section mein proceeding will not be done? They are telling, see, all proceeding concluded except 132 means if you have done something because of which you have to go to jail, 132 में will send you to jail. Just because 73 and 74 में proceeding done does not mean you will not go to jail. If you have done something which is falling under section number 132, you will be sent to jail. Second is okay. Please come down, everyone. Self-assessment tax or amount. This is important, everyone. They go ahead and sometime ask a question. Please remember this. Self-assessed tax or amount collected as tax if unpaid greater than 30 days from due date, penalty 10% of tax or 10,000, whichever is higher. Everyone listen to me very carefully. This clause, practically it can't work, but theoretically this clause works, and you have to remember this. What is this theoretical clause? See, I will explain, understand. Everyone here, for an example, this is the month of April. This is the month of April. You know what you did? You went ahead and did your GSTR 3B you filed over here. When you are filing GSTR 3B, you told my output tax liability is 10 lakh. My input tax credit is only 5 lakh. My input tax credit is only how much, everyone? 5 lakh. And you have to pay how much in cash? 5 lakh. This is your self-assessed tax. Do you guys agree with me? This is your self-assessed tax. No, you are only telling I am liable to pay this tax. Do you guys agree with me? So what they are going and telling, for an example, I'll tell you like this. You have a liability in your GSTR 3B. You went ahead and told I am liable to pay your self-assessed tax, which is there, output tax liability. You went ahead and told I have to pay 10 lakh. Supposingly you have zero input tax credit. You are liable to pay in cash how much? 10 lakh rupees. You did not pay the 10 lakh rupees and you filed your return. Can you do it? Practically not possible. Theoretically it is possible. This return will be called invalid return. A return in which you don't pay the self-assessed tax and you file the return is called what return? Invalid return. What is a valid return? Where you pay the tax and you file the return. Practically no. If you don't pay the tax, you can't file the return only. Theoretically it is possible. This is what return, everyone? Invalid return. Remember, if you filed a return which is invalid, it means you did not pay your tax. This is known as self-assessed tax. Your self-assessed tax was there. You only told, sir, I am liable to pay how much? 10 lakh rupees. Do you guys agree with me? You did not pay. You filed your return. You filed your return. Now, they are going ahead and telling, please pay it within the next 30 days. Please pay this self-assessed tax within the next 30. If you don't pay, they will first issue you a show cause notice. And then they will go ahead and demand the 10 lakh rupees from you along with interest. And now you will be liable to pay interest of 10% or 10,000, whichever is 10% or whichever is. Is my point clear to all? Can I go ahead, everyone? Now tell me one thing. For an example, this is the month of April. I had to go ahead and file my GSTR 3B. People, I did not file my GSTR 3B. For an example, output tax liability 10 lakh, input tax credit 0, cash may have to pay 10 lakh rupees. So you did not file your return only. You filed your return over here. You filed your return GSTR 3B. Over here, in this scenario, you told output tax liability 10 lakh, input tax credit 0, cash may you had to pay, supposingly you paid 10 lakh rupees. My question over here, in this scenario, will penalty come or no penalty? No penalty. In this scenario, though, you just have to pay interest. Are we clear, everyone? But if you do like this, you self-assessed, you did not pay and you filed your return. Within 30 days, please pay the tax. If you don't pay, then Baba, section number 7311 will get triggered, which goes ahead and says, now you have to pay the tax, you have to pay the interest, you have to pay the penalty also. Is my point clear to all? Everyone over here now, see. It says, whenever self-assessed tax or amount collected as tax in unpaid greater than what, everyone? 30 days from due date. So self-assess, what is self-assess? You self-assess through your return. If you did not self-assess only, in that scenario, the penalty cannot come. So everyone over here, if self-assessed tax or amount collected as tax, if unpaid greater than 30 days, remember penalty 10% or 10,000, whichever is higher. It says issue. People, issue is required or you understood already? Did you understand what I told you? Sir, my question over here. If this issue I am explaining you, if I did not file my return, I filed my return late, will penalty come or no penalty? This 10% or 10,000 ka penalty cannot come. However, they told if officer wants no, section number 125 may officer can charge a general penalty of up to 25,000 if officer wants. But generally in practical life this does not happen. Are we clear, everyone? This also does not happen in practical life. This also does not happen in practical life because you cannot file your return without paying the tax. Are we all clear till here? This circular, just read it at home once, and today you must do one question on this. Section number 7311, you must do one question on this. In your demand and recovery ka chapter, you will see questions on this which are there. Okay, sir, one person is there. I am not able to remember. I think Innova Bhave one question is there. Okay, where they will go ahead and tell this person went ahead and filed his return, but self-assessed tax was not paid. What is the amount of penalty? 10% of the tax amount or 10,000, whichever is higher. Please do one question and go. Are we clear till here, everyone? So this chapter from exam point of view, no, demand and recovery or appeals and revision. Demand and recovery is very important. Appeals and revision is okay. But either of these chapters, you will see a 4 to 6 mark question. I will classify it as B graded chapter, which you will have a 4 to 6 mark question in the exam, everyone. Now listen. You can mark over here these 2 points I have already told you, and the last point which I just now explained it to you, this point you can remember, important from exam point of view. Let's go ahead, everyone. Please come to the next section, everyone. Section number 75 now. Please come to section number 75. Section number 75 talks about general provision relating to determination of tax. Means when the officer is going ahead and passing a demand order, what are the general provision he should take care of it? What are the general provision the officer can take care of it? In this chapter, this chart is A graded. From chapter point of view, I am telling. This chart is A graded. This chart is B graded, and the last chart is C graded. Okay, everyone? Chalo. Now listen. But this whole chapter is actually exam point of view say B graded. You can have a 4 to 6 mark question which will come. Okay? Now everyone over here now. Student is telling, sir, in May 24, 4 marks came out of these 2 points only. Yes, Baba, these are only important points. Everyone over here now listen. Section number 75 talks about general provision. That when the officer is going ahead and passing an order, what are the general things the officer to take care? Number 1, period of stay will be excluded while computing the time limit of show cause notice and demand order. Whenever this 3-year or 5-year time limit is seen, if supposingly the court has put a stay on passing an order, then that stay period will always be excluded. If court has put a stay for 2 years, then 2-year time limit will be given additional to the officer to pass an order. The next is, sir, if this is very important. Second and third point is very important. Listen. Second and third point is important. Everyone here now. If show cause notice under section number 74(1) is not sustainable, proper officer shall determine the tax deeming the show cause notice is issued under section number 7311. I will tell you what happened. Listen here. You know what? This is important from the point of view that one circular is also there. Listen carefully, everyone. The GST officer, supposingly this is the year 2021. This is the year 2021. Listen. He went ahead and gave me, suppose 31st December 2021, 22, 23, and section number 24. People listen. 23, 22, 23, and 24. You know what? Can officer give me a show cause notice under section number 73 here? Can he give? Can he give? No. Why? Because 2 years, 9 months was the maximum. But you know what he did? He told, okay, Ramesh, show cause notice under section number 74 he gave me. He gave me a show cause notice under section number, and then he went ahead and passed a demand order under section number 74, because the time limit for section number 74 is 5 years. Okay? I went to the court and I told, sir, I took the case to a higher authority. I took the case to a appellate authority, appellate tribunal or court. And in the court I told, I am not a fraud, sir. He can tell me that I am not paid the tax, but I am not a fraud. Section number 73 and 74 ka demand is not sustainable. Demand is not sustainable. The court will call the officer, hey, he is not a fraud. Why did you pass the order under 74? Officer will tell, okay, sir, no problem. This demand order is invalid. No problem, sir. You are giving me direction. Listen, everyone. Now, this show cause notice, no. The officer does not have to issue show cause notice again. And the 74 ka show cause notice will be deemed as what? Section number 73 ka show cause notice only. The officer does not have to pass a order again. Are we clear? Show cause notice again. But demand order in 73 he will pass again. Now, for an example, the direction of the court came over here. The direction was given here. Okay? That, hey, officer, the appellate authority, appellate tribunal or the court gave the direction when, everyone? Here. Saying, hey, officer, Ramesh is not a fraud. Why did you call him fraud? The officer told, okay, sir, sorry. This demand order should not be under 74. No problem. I'll pass the demand order under section number 73. So it says what? See. If show cause notice under section number 74 is not sustainable, proper officer shall determine the tax, means he should pass the demand order, deeming the show cause notice under section number 73 1. Means he will say, okay, fine, sir, this demand order is invalid, but this show cause notice can be treated as what show cause notice, everyone? 73 ka show cause notice. Now listen. If demand order issued as per the direction of appellate authority, appellate tribunal or court, it has to be issued within how much time? 2 years from the date of direction. People, now the court has given direction. Officer should pass the demand order within how much time? From this direction within how much time? 1 year and 2 years. Is my point clear to all? Clear? But people went and told the government one more thing. Sir, you know what? The officer had done cheating, sir. Actually, this demand order which was passed under 73, 74, you are telling, please deem this demand order as show cause notice under section number 73. Sir, how can you deem this under 73? 73 ka time limit was 2 years, 9 months. This show cause notice is time barred and hence new demand order cannot be given. The whole proceedings is gone. Means officer cannot demand anything from you. Is my point clear to all? And that is what the circular has clarified over here. People, did you understand what I'm telling? Okay, I'll ask you one thing. For an example, this is the year 2021. ठीक है everyone? 31st December 2021. Officer should give you a show cause notice within how much time? 3 years. Officer gave you a show cause notice under section number 74 over here. 74 का time limit is what? 5 years. ठीक है. And he went ahead and passed a demand order also. Now demand order under section number 74. Listen carefully. Officer told, I will. Is the officer doing any cheating? No. He is telling, sir, I believe you are a fraud. I gave you a show cause notice under section number 74 and he went ahead and gave you a demand order under section number 74. Now you went to the court and you told the court, sir, I am not a fraud. And court went ahead and issued a direction telling, sir, this demand order is not sustainable. Now my question is, can the officer deem this show cause notice under 73? Tell no. Yes. The same show cause notice will be deemed under 73. My question is the show cause notice valid? Yes. Why? Because this was issued within 1 year, 2 years and 9 months. Within 2 years, 9 months, the show cause notice was issued and hence the show cause notice will be valid. Now my question over here, when the directions are issued, from how much, within how much time the demand order will be passed? No problem. Now the demand order can be passed within the next 2 years. Is my point clear to all? But If the show cause notice was passed after the time limit under section number 73, and now if the court told, if the court went ahead and told that the show cause notice under 74 is not sustainable, you can't deem it under 73 because the time limit for section number 73 was 2 years and 9 months, and this show cause notice was after 2 years and 9 months. Is my point 100% clear to all? Shall I explain again or got it? Got it? Everyone over here now. Clarification with regards to applicability of section number 75(2) and its effect on limitation. This just now what I explained, the same thing is there for your reading purpose, everyone. But it's important. Reading means I am telling one by one line, I am not reading. I already explained you the crux of it. Can I go ahead, everyone? But these 2 points are very, very important. The 2 examples which I gave you, people watching at home, are we 100% clear? I like this example. It can come in the exam. Please remember. Everyone over here now. The next one. Opportunity of being heard. Whenever the officer is passing an order, always remember one thing. They will always give you opportunity of being heard on request, or if they are passing an adverse decision. For an example, in the question they told you, Ramesh ke against one adverse decision was given, but opportunity of being heard was not given. The order will be, you can challenge the order. The order can be challenged with the higher authority because general provision says opportunity of being heard has to be given. Next, sir, how many times can be adjournment? Maximum 3 times. Adjournment means date on date. How many times? 3 times. Bakwas. Speaking order always, demand order should set out fact and basis of the decision. Whenever one demand order is passed, the officer should put in the demand order under which section he is penalizing you. All the details should be written in the speaking order, in the order. This is important. 7th one and 7th one, I like it, everyone. 7th one, I like it. Listen. If they told you in the show cause notice, everyone, show cause notice, they went ahead and told you the tax, interest and penalty. Everyone here, they told 1 lakh rupees ka tax, 20,000 ka interest and 50,000 ka penalty. When they give you the demand, and yet they told you, sir, the ground on which we want to pass the demand order is because tax is short paid. Tax is short paid. Listen, show cause notice always confirms what is told. Demand order always. The others on the board. Ram says girlfriend is message. Yeah, on the board here. Okay, show cause notice should always, demand order should always confirm what is told by the show cause notice. Everyone here now. Demand order, you can't, officer cannot pass the demand order saying, erroneous refund ka case. You getting my point, everyone? Whatever is told in the show cause notice, same ground pay, the demand order should also be closed. Tax not paid means tax not paid. You can't say, when he was passing the demand order, no, he thought, oh, tax not paid, but I think it's an erroneous refund ka case. Let's pass a demand order saying erroneous refund. No. Always remember. Secondly, first of all, the ground should be same. Secondly, if they have told tax 1 lakh rupees, we will go ahead and demand, then the maximum demand can be 1 lakh only. Maximum. They can demand less, but they can't demand more. Sir, interest, if they have told over here, remember, interest also can be maximum 20,000 and penalty also can be maximum 50,000. What they are telling over here, tax, interest and penalty in demand order cannot exceed the show cause notice. Demand order should always confirm the ground in the show cause notice. Demand order should always confirm the ground of the show cause notice. It should not be other than what was told in the show cause notice. Next, sir, tell me one thing. One demand order came. I went for an appeal. Appellate authority amount, reduce the tax amount. If they reduce the tax, the interest and penalty will also get reduced accordingly, because interest and penalty is always linked to the tax. So if appellate authority, appellate tribunal or court modifies the tax, interest and penalty shall stand modified accordingly. Next one. Interest always payable even if not specified in the demand order. For an example, officer forgot to write the interest only. Baba, interest is always by default 18%. You have to go ahead and pay the interest. But you will not pay more than the amount which was told in the show cause notice. Is my point? Because what was told in the show cause notice, that much only you have to go ahead and pay maximum. Is my point clear to all? Next. No demand order within 3 year or 5 year. Proceeding deemed to be concluded. Wait time spent for decision of the appellate authority, appellate tribunal, high court or supreme court, not to be considered in 3 years or 5 years. If officer, supposingly, officer passed a demand order in your case. Everyone listen. Officer passed a demand order in your case. You went to the appellate authority, appellate tribunal or court, me, your case is going on. Similar thing your friend has also done. Similar thing your friend has also done. The officer will pass a show cause notice and wait. What order will be passed by the court in your case? Same decision he will apply over here also. The officer will not pass the demand order in the case of your friend. But supposingly, officer waited 5 years for the court order to come. Time limit gone to pass the demand order. No problem. That 5 year he will be given additional. Is what they are trying to tell. Did you guys understand, everyone? Any waiting time will be given additional to the proper officer. Next. Direct recovery in case of self-assessed tax liability in accordance with section number 39. Everyone here, GSTR 1 में I showed 1 crore and 18 lakh liability. GSTR 3B में I showed 10 lakh and 1.8 lakh liability. 18 lakh and 1.8 lakh. Is there a difference? For that, direct recovery can be done. But nowadays, you know, direct recovery is not done. Rule number 88C says, first they will go ahead and give you a intimation. You have to go ahead and pay the differential or reply. After that, only recovery will start. Do you remember rule number 88C? Everyone, the same point over here. Next. Sir, what do you mean by self-assessed tax over here? They are telling self-assessed tax means what you told in GSTR 1, but what you did not show in GSTR 3B. You told in GSTR 1, my liability is 18 lakh. But here you told only 1.8 lakh. So the differential amount can be recovered from you directly. Means for that, they will not give any show cause notice, demand order, nothing. Direct recovery. But direct recovery means directly hang you upside down and recover. No. Now rule number 88C also has come. If GSTR 1 and Baba, by chance, just imagine GSTR 1 में I added 1 zero extra by mistake. What? They will hang me upside down and recover. Can I go ahead? First, rule number 88C ka intimation will come. You pay the difference or reply. If they like your reply, they will close the matter. But if they don't like it, then they will do the recovery. Can I go ahead, everyone? Next. No penalty for same act or omission under any other section if already penalized under 73 or 74. If under section number 73 or 74 they have already penalized you, then section number 122 is there, no offenses and penalty. There they will not penalize you again. Everyone over here. Section number 75. I like some of the points over here. Which I have told you. Second point, third point, 7 point, this direct recovery wala 12th point. These are some of the good points, everyone. And this circular which I have told you just to read, which I have already explained, is also a good point. Everyone over here, please come to section number 76 now. 76, I don't want you to read in detail, but I'll tell you what happens. Listen. It says amount collected representing as tax. Means what is not tax, you collected as tax. For an example, I was supplying an item on which there is no tax only, but I collected tax. If you collect any amount as tax, representing as tax, which was not tax, but you collected as tax, remember, you should immediately pay it to the government. See, for tax, there is a due date. For amount collected representing as tax, there is no due date. Immediately, it should be paid to the government. If today you collected, you pay it immediately to the government. If you don't pay, no. Even if government comes to know after 10 years, they can give you a show cause notice, and after the show cause notice, they will pass the demand order within 1 year. This is the only point which I want to remember. Everyone here, tax collected but not paid to the government. The show cause notice limit, there is no time limit. Show cause notice to demand order should be passed within how much time, everyone? 1 year. Tell me one thing, if I went ahead and collected amount as tax and I am not paid to the government, it shall be paid immediately. People, more than this section is not important. Only one point which I want you to remember here. I collected amount representing as tax. Representing means what? Showing that it is tax, but actually it was not tax. My supply was exempt, but I collected. Baba, when it is not tax only, you should immediately pay it to the government. If you don't pay, what is the time limit for show cause notice? No time limit. But once they pass the show cause notice, they will give it a demand order within 1 year. Please remember this enough. Can I go ahead, everyone? The next is section number 77, everyone. Listen. I sold you an item. I sold you an item. I collected CGST and SGST. You know what? I don't know place of supply properly. Actually, I should have collected IGST from you. But I collected what? CGST and SGST. And I paid CGST and SGST to the government. Now I realized, oh no, I should have paid IGST. So government says, no problem, Ramesh. Do one thing. Customer will not pay you again. You pay the IGST to me, take a refund of your CGST and SGST. When you pay the correct tax, you don't have to pay any interest. So by mistake, supposingly, I paid IGST to the government. Intra, I thought it to be inter, and I paid IGST to the government. IGST, I should take a refund, and I should pay what? CGST and HGST. The only section number 77 is telling wrong tax, take a refund. Correct tax, pay it. Don't pay any interest. Not required. Is my point clear to all? Can we go ahead? So if you paid by mistake IGST, pay the CGST and HGST, the correct tax. When you are paying the correct tax, you don't have to pay any interest. Is my point clear? That is told by section number 77. Tax wrongfully collected and paid to the government, read with section number 19. It says what? CGST and HGST paid instead of IGST by treating as interstate, interstate as intrastate shall be refunded to the person. IGST paid instead of CGST by treating as what? Intra as inter shall not be required to be paying any interest on the amount of CGST and SGST. I'll tell you what. Wrong tax refund, correct tax pay, correct tax when you pay, not required interest. Clear, everyone? Tell me one thing. I went ahead and told you till now what? Section number 73, demand order in case of non-fraud case. 74, fraud case. 75, everyone, general provision. 76, tax collected representing as tax. What was not tax you collected. Remember, representing as tax means what was not tax you collected as tax. Then always remember, what is it telling? 76, show cause notice, no time limit. Demand order, 1 year. 77, very important. I like it. One small question, anywhere you can see 77 pay. It says, wrong tax, take a refund, correct tax. No. First you have to pay the correct tax. First pay the correct tax. Wrong tax, take a refund. There is no interest. Now comes section number 78. Listen to me very carefully. Section number 78 goes ahead and says, if any demand order is given, always remember, please make the payment of the demand order within 3 months. If you don't make the payment, amount payable in the demand order shall be paid within 3 months. If you don't pay, recovery will start. You guys already know. Demand order came, pay within how much time? If you don't pay, what will happen? Recovery. Just a second, everyone. Everyone over here now, listen. Sir, can the proper officer keep the time limit less than 3 months also? Yes. If proper officer considers it expedient, if the officer considers it expedient, he may require taxable person to make the payment within less than 3 months also. The next one, important from exam, Baba, C graded chapter ka. So C graded chart ka chapter is B graded. Because 73, 74, A graded points. 75, 76, 77, B graded. All these are C graded. Everyone listen. What are the various modes of recovery? Means how can the recovery be done from you? How can the recovery be done from you? Remember, they can go ahead and ask you in the exam, what are the various modes of recovery? I call them Mr. Square TDS. MM R TDS. Mr. M square, R square, TDS it is. ठीक है? Here. M means what? Recovery through an application to magistrate. Your officer will tell the magistrate, the court, that Ramesh is not paying the tax. People here, Ramesh is not paying the tax, demand order. Court will go ahead and tell you, hey, pay. If you don't follow court ka order, it means you are not paying the court ka. It is like, what will happen? Your officer will tell the magistrate, Ramesh is not paying the tax amount. Magistrate will do the recovery from you now. If magistrate will issue an order, no, it is like court fine. If you don't pay court ka fine, you will be sent to jail. So recovery can be done through magistrate. M. Second M is movable and immovable property. Officer can go ahead and sell what, everyone? Officer can go ahead and sell your movable and immovable property. R. R means what? Refund. For an example, GST department says some refund had to come. Income tax department says some refund had to come. They will adjust your refund. Refund ka adjustment will be done. They will keep your refund and adjust against the demand amount. R for refund. R for realization of bond. You would have given at the time of provisional assessment bond with bank guarantee. That bond they will realize, bank guarantee they will realize and recover the amount. So number one, magistrate ke through recovery can be done. M for magistrate, M for movable and immovable property, R for realization of bond, R for refund adjustment, T for third party from whom amount is due or may become due. For an example, madam, your name? Monica. Monica has to go ahead and pay me some amount. Officer will tell, hey Monica, you pay me, don't pay Ramesh. So from third party also they can do the recovery. Then D for district collector ke through recovery can be done. Officer will tell my district collector, sir, Ramesh is not paying the tax. District collector will come to my place and he will do the recovery. But district collector ka power is very humongous. So always you have to follow what is the district collector is telling and you have to pay him the tax amount. And the last way to recover is selling of goods. You know what officer will do? Your truck is going. He'll catch your truck, detain all the goods, sell all the goods and recover the amount. That is what way recovery will be done. People, tell me. Recovery ka modes. M for magistrate, M for movable and immovable property, R for refund adjustment, R for realization of bond, T for third party ke through recovery, D for district collector, S for selling of goods. Please, this is good one. Please read properly and go. Okay? Read one question from your book and then go. Everyone over here now. If you don't have any question from your book, no problem. These points you should read properly and go. Next. Here, SGST officer will collect the dues and later remit to the CGST officer. For an example, the GST officers who came to recover from me, my jurisdictional officer was a SGST officer. He will do the recovery of CGST and SGST also, and SGST he will keep, CGST he will give to the central government. Supposingly, my officer came to my premises, he could recover only 50%. The officer will say, oh, our SGST is recovered, we will keep. Let CGST department go to hell. No, they will have to divide between themselves. A partial recovery, pro rata distribution between central government and state government. Sir, explanation. Can recovery be done from a distinct person? Yes. Sir, recovery starts, sir. Sir, give installment. Baba, if you want, you can go ahead and tell the officer to give you some more time. If, see here, payment of tax and other amount in installment, taxable person can file an application in DRC 20 and commissioner may extend the time limit for payment or also allow you monthly installment. Remember this point. How much is the monthly installment maximum? 24 installment. Remember, self-assessed tax, there is no installment. Self-assessed tax too, they will hang you upside down and recover. They'll tell you only told you on your return that you are liable to pay this amount and you're not paying. They will recover from you. Recovery, direct recovery, everyone. Self-assessed tax, no installment. And installment facility is not free. It is subject to interest. If you default in the payment of any installment, Baba, total amount, installment facility will be withdrawn and total amount have to be paid immediately. Remember, beggars ke liye no installment. Amount, installment not allowed if the amount payable is less than 25,000. It should be 25,000 or more. Tax transfer of property shall be void. People, just for reading purpose, you guys can read. I'll tell you. any amount become recoverable from you. You went ahead and transferred your property to your friend. That transfer of property shall be void. What they are telling, person after the amount became due from him creates a charge or parts with the property to with an intention of defrauding the government revenue, that such transfer shall be void. For an example, when demand order came, what I did, I transferred my property to my friend. Remember, such transfer will be void. But exception is, such transfer will not be void if you have done for a bona fide intention and for adequate consideration in good faith. Sir, I am doing the transfer, you know why? So that I can get the money and pay the demand amount. Sir, please allow me. Then there will be no problem. And supposingly, without notice of pendency of such proceeding, you don't even know that one bench judgment assessment order is passed on you, and you have gone ahead and transferred the property. In good faith you have done, such transfer will not be void. Or without notice of such tax or other sum payable by that said person, or with the permission of the proper officer, if you do the transfer, then the transfer will not be void. Section number 82 is total bakwas. Section number 82 goes ahead and says, whenever any recovery has to be done, GST department will always stand first. For an example, one company is closing down. GST department is telling, we will stand first and we will recover our amount. Are we clear? But that is subject to insolvency and bankruptcy code. If one company pay, IBC is applicable, then what is told in IBC will be applicable. Can I go ahead, everyone? So if IBC is applicable, section number 82 is not applicable. If IBC is not applicable on a company, then section number 82 says GST department will stand first and recover its amount. This is something which can be again a C-graded point which you can remember. Provisional attachment. Everyone over here. Provisional attachment of property. Proceedings initiated against you under the chapter of assessment, demand and recovery, inspection, search, seizure and arrest. Against you proceedings started, proceedings initiated. And commissioner is of the opinion that for protecting the government revenue, attachment is necessary. It means Ramesh ka bank account we should seize and keep, sir. Otherwise Ramesh will go ahead and run away. So what commissioner can go ahead and do is no. He can pass an order. First of all, he'll record the basis of the opinion. Why does he feel so? Why does he feel so? He should record the basis of his opinion and then pass an order in GST DRC 22, and the details of the property he should mention and he should go ahead and attach. Then always remember, after he has attached my property, he will go ahead and send one order copy to the concerned revenue authority, transport authority, bank, or also to the person whose property is attached. Now, once my property is attached, I have to go ahead and file an obligation. If I want, sir, why did you attach my bank account? You have attached my bank account. How will I do business? If you want, you can go ahead and file an obligation. In which form? DRC 22A, if property is not liable to be attached. Then after that, what will happen? If objection is filed, commissioner will provide opportunity of being heard. If commissioner is satisfied, then he will release the property and pass an order. If he is not satisfied, attachment will continue. Sir, remember, he can do attachment for a maximum period of how much, everyone? 1 year. Within 1 year, he should complete all his investigations and adjudication. Whatever demand order, etc. is to be passed, he should pass within 1 year. Because attachment shall cease to be effective after 1 year. This point is very important. Attachment can be maximum for a period of 1 year. But tell me one thing. Supposingly he has attached my goods and those goods are mangoes. Can he attach the mangoes for 1 year? So in that case, they are telling perishable or hazardous nature ka goods will be released after the person pays lower of the market price or the amount that is or may become payable by that person. Then the property shall be released immediately by an order in DRC 23 on the proof of payment. Next. Sir, in case the person fails, the property will be disposed of and the amount recovered will be adjusted towards the tax, interest, penalty, late fee or any other amount. The last one over here is section number 84. Listen to me very carefully. Officer went ahead and gave me a demand order. Officer went ahead and gave me a demand order. What I did is, I did not make the payment within 3 months. They started recovery. They started recovery. You know what? You can go ahead and file an appeal within 3 months plus 1 month ka additional time can be given. They started recovery and I went to the appellate authority, sir, give me some more time. He is going ahead and doing recovery. Sir, please take my appeal. Appellate authority took your appeal. If appellate authority accepts your appeal after 3 months also, recovery will be stopped. Recovery will be stopped. So section number 84 says, demand order served, taxable person went for an appeal. Appeal application is filed, officer will stay the recovery. Now, appeal disposed of. Now, appeal ka order came, cancelling the demand order. Appellate authority told Ramesh say nothing is taken, nothing is to be taken. Then, will he do recovery or no recovery? Appellate authority confirmed the demand order. Then, recovery will continue. Appellate authority enhanced the amount, increase the amount. Whatever demand order was given, that ka recovery to will be done only. Again, officer, for the balance, appellate authority increased, no. Appellate authority increased the amount. For the increased amount, they will give you one more notice of demand and now they will recover the old amount also and new amount also. They are telling if the appellate authority enhance the amount, commissioner will serve another notice of demand for the enhanced amount. Recovery proceeding will now continue with respect to old and new notice of demand. Sir, if amount is reduced, then fresh demand notice is not required because 1 lakh was to be recovered. Appellate authority told recover only 80. So now they will recover only 80. The commissioner shall give an intimation of reduction and recovery proceedings shall continue with for what amount? The reduced amount. People, this chapter, I've already gone ahead and told you what are the important points you should take care. Every time I've told you, this is the A graded chart, this is the B graded chart, and the last one is C graded. From the last chart, hardly they go ahead and ask, they can go ahead and ask a 2 to 3 mark question. But I've gone ahead and tried my best to go ahead and cover everything in the chapter. Please solve some question on section number 73, 74, and 75. At least 73, 74, and 75. Some questions you should do it. All others you can read it. All other questions, it's okay, you can read also. But 73, 74, and 75 ka question you should practice. Chalo, I'll close my revision on the chapter of demand and recovery. Done.